This channel is proudly sponsored by the Era Kaiju Kickstarter, a tabletop RPG where you play as a kaiju that defends its territory from other giant monsters. Please check out the links in the description and in the pinned comment. Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring Era Kaiju. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the basics of the Era D10 Lite rule system. When it comes to this system, it is very easy. Everything is quite simple. It's a dice pool system where you count successes. You roll a number of 10-sided dice equal to your attributes, depending on the task or the roll. Let's say that you want to shove an enemy kaiju into a mountain or into a building. Maybe you need to roll might plus might. So if you have 3 dice in might, it would be 3 dice in total. But what if you want to rip out a metal tower and throw it like a spear at your enemy? Then perhaps the game master will require a might plus reaction roll on your part in order to represent the precise aiming when you throw that tower. Depending on the difficulty of the task, you have a threshold. If it's an easy task, you would only need perhaps 4 or 5. If it's a hard task, you only need 8 or 9. That depends on the roll. So let's say that you roll 6 dice, and every dice that you roll 4 or above that would be enough to accomplish an easy task. But if you end up rolling 8 or more on your dice, then each one of those dice would count as a success for a hard task. So let's say you are taking on an easy task, and you rolled 3 4s. That's enough. So now you have 3 successes. This number of successes represent levels of success. In the case of obtaining 3 or 4 successes, that counts as a level of moderate. The character succeeds in a normal action, that's it. But perhaps you rolled 5 or 6 successes. That would count as a strong level of success. You accomplish your action, but you also achieve other outcomes as well. Maybe you take less time when doing your action. Or maybe you accomplish the action so well that you get a bonus action. Perhaps it depends on the context. Who knows? Now you can carry out free actions and trivial actions, actions that do not require a roll, and that take very little time. It's also important to consider that the dice explode. For each 10 that you roll, it counts as an additional die. So let's say that you obtained 2 10s. That counts as 2 extra dice to roll. You can also carry out opposed rolls, and the difference in the number of successes, the success margin between the attacker and the target, is used to determine which character is victorious and the level of success achieved. When it comes to failures and fumbling, rolling a 1 is considered a failure. If more failures than successes are achieved on a dice roll, the roll is considered a fumble. The severity of the fumble is defined by the difference in number between failures and successes. For example, maybe you obtained 1 more failure than successes. This is a minor fumble. The action cannot be retried. Perhaps the character falls down or ends in a disadvantageous position. But what if you obtained 2 more failures than successes? This would be a moderate fumble, causing you to take pain damage. Perhaps your kaiju or monster ended up hurting itself when interacting with hazardous materials according to the task at hand. It's also important to consider that the defender wins. The general principle of the rules is that the defender wins in the case of a tie. This means that if the active character attempts an action and equals the defender, the action fails. This applies both in and out of combat. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about general rules and humanity. As you can see, the system is incredibly simple and quite easy to apply to any sort of situation. Not to mention that there is great potential when it comes to the interpretation of each result. Thank you for watching this part of the review. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. This has been Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. If you want me to run a game for you, please check out the pinned comment below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you and see you later.